The Grand Chamber of the Galactic Council stretched endlessly above the floor, its walls shimmering with light from 1,000 stars beyond the glass panels. A place where the most powerful species in the universe met to decide the fate of planets, systems, and civilizations. And today humans had come to speak, their ambassador standing small in comparison to towering alien figures, yet filled with determination, to plead for peace in a galaxy that did not want it, while whispers spread among alien delegates, mocking humans as weak, fragile, and unworthy of respect, calling them pacifists who avoided war at all costs, laughing at the idea that such a species could ever stand in a conflict with true warriors, some of the largest and most feared beings the universe had ever known, their voices echoing through the hall with arrogance and scorn, their claws tapping on consoles, their tails flicking impatiently, and their eyes glowing with derision, all focused on the small human, standing alone on the platform. The human ambassador, dressed in simple yet formal attire that marked his rank but could not hide his nerves, began to speak, his voice steady despite the mocking laughter around him. Honored members of the council, we come not to challenge, but to find understanding, to avoid needless bloodshed, to prevent the horrors of war from spreading across systems. And he raised his hands in a gesture of peace, hoping that the words, simple and clear, could reach beings whose lives had been forged in conflict, beings who saw diplomacy as weakness. And he continued, describing the cost of war, the suffering of innocent species, the destruction of worlds, appealing to reason and morality. Yet every phrase seemed to bounce off hardened minds, every plea met with snickers, whispers, and open ridicule, as if the very idea of humans standing against the might of the galaxy was a joke, a fantasy too amusing to take seriously. Across the chamber, the alien generals exchanged glances, their voices dripping with condescension. "They are fragile," one hissed, his tongue flicking out as if tasting weakness. "Their species avoids war like children avoid fire," another growled, his voice vibrating through the floor panels, and the council erupted into laughter that shook the chamber, the echoes of it reaching every corner, drowning out the human ambassador's careful words, while holographic displays projected images of human settlements, showing peaceful cities, education centers, farms, and laboratories, as if to prove the point that humans had no experience, no will to fight, no ability to lead in war, and some of the younger delegates even mocked the ambassador openly, calling him the face of a weak species, and questioning why he had been sent at all, as if a single human could ever sway the will of the council. Despite the derision, the ambassador continued, his voice calm and measured, each word deliberate, emphasizing cooperation and diplomacy, the value of alliances, the potential for trade, and the importance of respecting life. Yet his eyes kept flicking to the shadows behind him, where a figure stood silent, unnoticed by most, a retired human soldier whose presence was unremarkable to the untrained eye, dressed in muted colors, his posture relaxed yet alert, his hands clasped behind his back. Watching every alien in the chamber, every twitch of a claw, every flicker of a tail, every shift of glowing eyes, noting arrogance, strength, weakness, and strategy, his mind analyzing patterns, anticipating moves, and waiting patiently for the moment when humans would need to act. The veteran had seen centuries of war, battles humans had fought quietly, victories achieved through strategy, patience, and cunning rather than brute force. And though the ambassador represented humanity's hope for peace, the veteran represented its readiness for conflict, a silent guardian whose experience stretched from early skirmishes with alien raiders to massive campaigns across multiple star systems, who understood that words alone would not protect humans if the council chose cruelty. And his eyes glimmered with resolve as he considered the laughter around him, the mockery, the complete underestimation of a species they thought fragile, knowing that the galaxy had made a grave mistake. Alien speakers continued to lecture, mocking the human ambassador further. "They cannot fight," one declared. "They cannot plan beyond their cities," another said, and a third added, "Humans avoid war as if it were a plague." Their words cutting through the chamber with certainty, the council members nodding in agreement, their belief in humanity's weakness unanimous. Yet beneath the scorn there was ignorance, a blindness to history, a failure to recognize the lessons humanity had learned in silence, the discipline that came from surviving far greater threats than these arrogant beings could imagine. And the veteran knew that if words failed, humans would act with precision, patience, and fury the likes of which the galaxy had never seen. The ambassador, sensing that reason alone would not succeed, took a deep breath and spoke louder, projecting calm determination. You may see us as weak, as afraid of conflict, but we have endured far more than you know, and we will not submit to cruelty or oppression. We seek peace because we value life, but we are prepared to defend it with every means at our disposal. And as he spoke, a hush fell over parts of the chamber, the calm assertion catching some delegates off guard. Yet the laughter did not cease entirely, though some younger members exchanged uncertain glances, questioning the certainty with which humans were being dismissed, and the veteran continued to stand silently, a shadow behind the hope of humanity, his presence unnoticed but powerful, a reminder that the council's mockery was superficial and that beneath the surface, humans were far stronger than they appeared. The session dragged on, debates filled with arrogance and derision, the ambassador's words carefully countered by alien leaders, who openly challenged his statements, claiming humans were naive, incapable, and fragile. And yet the ambassador did not flinch, responding with logic, morality, and calm reason. All the while the veteran observed every detail, memorizing positions, noting vulnerabilities, assessing strengths and weaknesses, and preparing silently for a moment that had not yet come. The room filled with tension and spectacle, a performance of diplomacy under scrutiny, as if the galaxy itself was waiting for the first spark to ignite, unaware that the spark already existed in human patience and silent readiness. Finally, as the ambassador concluded his plea for understanding and respect, the chamber erupted in applause from some members, though mostly polite, and scornful laughter from the majority, the alien generals turning to each other with pride at their certainty of human weakness. Yet the veteran's eyes remained fixed on the room, calculating, waiting, unbending, a silent force ready to act. His presence a quiet warning that humans were not as fragile as the council believed, that patience and observation were weapons, and that ridicule would have a cost far greater than any of them could predict. And as the session ended with the council dismissing humanity once more, the ambassador bowed respectfully, his voice quiet but firm. "We have spoken, and we hope you have heard." While behind him the veteran's shadow remained, still unnoticed by most, his mind alive with plans, strategies, and anticipation, and the final words of the story hung in the chamber like a storm waiting to break. They thought humanity would bow, but they didn't notice the warrior waiting to rise. The retired human soldier moved silently through the council chamber as the aliens filed out, their arrogance filling the corridors, their laughter echoing off walls of shining metal and glass. Yet no one noticed him, the shadow of patience and power lingering behind the small human ambassador who had spoken so boldly. And as the council dispersed to their private chambers, he studied the alien leaders, analyzing their movements, their gestures, the way they interacted with one another, reading patterns like an open book, seeing the cracks in confidence that only centuries of experience could reveal, every detail recorded in his mind, every weakness memorized, while the ambassador watched him with quiet pride, knowing that humanity's secret strength did not lie in speeches, but in those who had learned the true art of survival and war. Across the galaxy, human fleets were preparing quietly, hidden in asteroid belts, cloaked behind nebulae, and deep in uncharted sectors, their engines silent, their crews focused, every soldier, pilot, and officer trained for patience and precision, awaiting the signal that would turn diplomacy into action if the council refused to respect humanity's voice, the veteran coordinating every movement, his mind moving faster than any ship could travel, anticipating alien strategies, predicting the arrogance that would lead them into traps, and his calm presence inspired confidence in those around him. for he had led men and women through conflicts where hope seemed lost and had turned despair into victory, and now he prepared to do the same on a galactic scale. Back on the Council's homeworld, alien generals gathered in private, discussing the human ambassador's speech with condescension, their voices thick with derision. "They think they can challenge us," one growled, scales rippling with contempt. "Their fleets are small, their weapons primitive, and their courage is only words," another hissed, their eyes glowing with certainty. Yet they failed to notice the subtle changes in the galaxy, the quiet movements of human forces, the preparation that had taken decades to perfect, the patience that masked lethal intent, for humans had learned to fight in silence, to strike without warning, and to adapt faster than any alien mind could calculate. And the veteran's hand moved across holographic star maps, marking positions, adjusting strategies, anticipating every reaction with precision and skill. In a remote command station orbiting a hidden planet, the veteran convened a council of human officers and allied species who had long relied on humanity's guidance in times of conflict, their faces reflecting determination, respect, and a hint of awe. "The Council believes we are weak," he said, his voice low and steady. "They think patience is fear, silence is submission. But they do not understand the strength we have built over centuries, the strategies we have perfected, the ways we have learned to survive when the odds are impossible. And tonight we show them that humanity does not bow. Humanity rises," and his words inspired confidence, the crew nodding, knowing that every plan had been tested, every possibility accounted for, and every soldier ready to act. The first human ships slipped silently through asteroid fields, their dark hulls blending with shadows, engines muted, shields active but undetectable, each vessel moving like a predator through the void, following paths known only to those who had studied the galaxy in secret, the veteran monitoring every signal, every pulse of alien communication, intercepting transmissions and predicting movements, guiding his fleet to positions where no one expected them, teaching patience and timing as weapons far sharper than blades or lasers. In the hidden hangars, soldiers prepared boarding teams, weapons carefully calibrated, suits designed to operate in zero gravity, training drills repeated over and over until every action was instinctive, ready for the moment when words had failed. Meanwhile, alien scouts reported minor disturbances in distant systems, but their leaders dismissed them as coincidences, isolated skirmishes, or natural phenomena, unaware that these were probes, tests, and diversions created by the veteran to measure response, delay reinforcements, and sow confusion. And the more the aliens assumed humans were weak, the more effective every maneuver became, every trap set, and every plan executed. For patience was a human weapon, silence a shield, and deception and art perfected over generations. The galaxy had laughed at humans' supposed weakness. Yet now every move they made was under watch. Every fleet they sent could fall into the unseen net of preparation. On a barren moon, human engineers adjusted weapon systems on stealth bombers, ensuring targeting systems were flawless, plasma cannons synchronized for maximum efficiency, and every device tested in conditions mimicking alien defenses, while the veteran moved among them quietly, checking calibrations, offering advice, observing with the precision of a master strategist, noting fatigue, adjusting shifts, keeping morale steady, for he understood that preparation and patience were only as strong as the people executing them, and humanity's strength lay not only in machines, but in its resolve, in the calm determination to act when the time was right, and in the ability to turn underestimation into absolute advantage. In the council chambers, alien leaders debated minor skirmishes, still convinced humans were bluffing, still mocking the species they believed avoided conflict. Yet in private, some younger officers questioned the certainty of their elders, noticing anomalies, odd coincidences, subtle gaps in intelligence that did not make sense. Yet none of them realized that the humans had foreseen every counter, anticipated every move, and that every seeming mistake was part of a far larger plan, a plan directed by the silent veteran whose presence behind the ambassador had gone unnoticed, whose mind worked faster than any alien commander could comprehend, and whose patience would soon become a weapon far deadlier than fire or plasma. Back on the hidden command station, the veteran addressed his officers again. "They believe we fear war," he said, his eyes scanning the holographic projections of alien fleets. "They think we avoid conflict. But our patience has been training, our silence has been teaching, and tonight we act not because we seek vengeance, but because we seek justice and survival, and the galaxy will learn that humans are not weak, that we are not naive, that every species that underestimates us pays a price." And a silent determination filled the room, the crew's understanding that the time for diplomacy had passed. The time for action was imminent, and the galaxy would soon see the truth about human resolve. As the first human ships reached positions near key alien installations, the veteran monitored every signal, every movement, every response, guiding the fleet with precision, timing every action, waiting for the exact moment when humans would strike, their patience measured in years, their preparation unmatched, and while alien leaders believed they controlled the situation, they had no idea that the human veteran had orchestrated the beginning of a plan that would change the balance of power across the galaxy, that the species they mocked would soon reveal strength beyond imagination, and that the shadow behind the ambassador was not only watching but ready to rise. And so, as the council celebrated their mockery and the humans appeared to retreat, the veteran's eyes gleamed with silent intensity. Every calculation complete, every position perfect, knowing that the galaxy had mistaken patience for fear, silence for submission. And as the human ambassador left the chamber, bowing respectfully, the final thought lingered in the minds of those who still observed. They believed humans would avoid war, but they did not notice the warrior waiting to rise. The galaxy was quiet in places where silence should not exist. Human fleets moving like shadows between asteroid belts and nebulae, their engines nearly silent, cloaked in darkness, while alien fleets patrolled sectors confidently, unaware of the eyes watching them, unaware that patience and preparation had been humanity's greatest weapons, and the retired human veteran, stationed on a hidden command ship far from the council, observed every movement, every formation, every signal, analyzing patterns, predicting reactions, knowing that the aliens' arrogance made them blind to the dangers forming in the void. Inside the command ship, officers and soldiers prepared meticulously, checking systems, calibrating weapons, and reviewing strategies, their faces focused and tense, yet calm, for they trusted the veteran's experience, his decisions guided by decades of combat, by battles humans had fought quietly in the past, by wars that had been won with cleverness and endurance rather than brute force. And he moved among them like a shadow, offering advice in low tones, correcting small errors, his eyes, scanning the holographic maps of alien fleets, adjusting plans, timing every maneuver to the exact second when it would be most effective, and in every movement, he taught his crew the lesson of humanity's patience, its discipline, and its deadly focus. Meanwhile, alien patrols detected unusual readings, minor anomalies in sectors they thought secure, slight deviations in asteroid movements, faint energy signatures that could be dismissed as natural phenomena. And they did dismiss them, assuming humans were incapable of complex maneuvers, that their fleets were small, their tactics simple, that their species avoided war as if it were a plague. Yet every miscalculation, every underestimation, played into the human plan, every anomaly, a calculated distraction, a probe, or a signal designed to confuse and delay, to draw alien attention away from the true positions of human forces hidden in the darkness, ready to strike when the time was right. The veteran's mind worked faster than any machine, faster than any alien commander, predicting what they would do before they even considered it, and he instructed his crews with calm authority. Position the first squad in the outer belt. Their sensors cannot detect cloaked signatures there. Deploy the second squad near the nebula. Wait for the signal. And remember, patience is our strength. Silence is our shield. Every movement must be precise, every decision deliberate. The galaxy expects us to fail, but we will show them that they were wrong about humanity. And the soldiers nodded, understanding that these were not empty words, that every plan had been tested in simulations, in drills, in careful calculations, that humanity's so-called avoidance of war was actually preparation for moments like this. Deep within the nebula, human scout ships moved silently, sending back encrypted reports, observing alien patrols, mapping every ship, every weapon, every formation, every vulnerability, and the veterans studied the reports carefully, analyzing patterns, predicting reinforcement routes, calculating response times, and as he worked, he knew that the aliens' overconfidence was their weakness, their arrogance blinding them to the smallest details, and the human fleets would exploit that without mercy, without hesitation, but with the precision and discipline that only experience could provide. Every attack planned, every strike timed, every crew member trained to act as part of a larger organism that was humanity's force. In the alien sectors, generals continued to boast, confident in their superiority, mocking the humans who they believed were pacifists, avoiding conflict, incapable of coordination, and some even commented that the human ambassador's words had been pathetic, that a species would never understand true strategy, never understand the demands of war. Yet their hubris prevented them from noticing the subtle signs, the small maneuvers, the hidden fleet movements, the timing of probes, and distractions, all designed by the veteran to shape the battlefield, to create confusion, to ensure that when humanity struck, the effect would be overwhelming and absolute. Back on the command ship, the veteran moved quietly among his officers, observing reactions, making adjustments, ensuring readiness. And he spoke to the pilots. You know your roles, you know the enemy, you know the stakes. The galaxy expects weakness from us. But tonight, we act with precision, we act with courage, and we act with the patience that makes humans lethal. Do not rush, do not hesitate. Wait for the moment. The moment will come, and we will be ready. And the officers repeated the instructions to their squads, spreading calm determination, confidence, and readiness throughout the fleet. The knowledge that humanity's greatest weapon was not firepower alone, but discipline, planning, and patience. In distant systems, minor skirmishes began as planned. Small probes testing alien defenses, small attacks designed to lure patrols, to create confusion, to provoke reactions, and the veteran monitored each carefully, noting alien responses, adjusting positions, ensuring that every movement led toward the final objective, while alien commanders reacted with annoyance and arrogance, unaware that each move was anticipated, that each reaction had been predicted, that every patrol sent to investigate anomalies was being guided directly into patterns designed by humans to mislead, to distract, and to prepare the battlefield for the strike that would soon come. The veteran paused to review holographic projections of the galaxy, the fleets, the planets, the asteroid belts, the nebulae, the weak points and the strong points, calculating travel times, attack angles, and communication delays, every factor accounted for, every risk mitigated, every possible error anticipated. And as he worked, he considered the irony that the galaxy believed humans avoided war, that patience was cowardice, that diplomacy meant fear, yet here was proof that the galaxy could not see what humans had been doing for centuries, preparing silently, learning, observing, waiting for the exact moment to turn the tide. In the hidden hangars, boarding teams practiced their maneuvers, weapons calibrated, suits fitted for zero gravity, drills repeated endlessly. Every motion second nature, every decision instinctive, for the veteran had taught them that war was not just about fighting, but about preparation, discipline, observation, patience, and timing. And as the crews trained, morale was high, determination unwavering, confidence absolute, and the veterans of human wars smiled quietly, knowing that the galaxy's laughter would soon be replaced by shock, fear, and respect. Finally, the veteran gathered his senior officers and reviewed the final plans. Every ship in position, every squad ready, every attack synchronized, every distraction calculated, and he looked at the holographic map with a steady gaze, knowing that humanity's patience had created a moment where victory was possible, where strategy, skill, and experience could overwhelm arrogance and hubris. And he whispered to himself, "They believe we avoid war. They believe we are weak, but the galaxy is about to learn the truth about humanity, and it begins with us." And as the first signals of engagement were about to be sent, the veteran's eyes glimmered with silent intensity. The calm before the storm, the quiet before chaos. The moment when all preparation and patience would reveal the hidden strength of a species long underestimated. And though alien generals laughed and mocked from afar, the veteran knew that the galaxy had no idea what was coming, that humanity's hidden fury was ready to rise, and that the shadow of preparation, patience, and lethal strategy was about to engulf them all. The hidden human fleet drifted silently in the shadow of a massive asteroid field, the hulls of their ships blending with darkness, shields active but invisible to alien sensors, engines humming so quietly that only the trained human ear could notice the vibration, while the retired veteran stood on the command deck, eyes scanning holographic displays, mapping every alien vessel, every patrol, every potential trap, knowing that patience was now as important as firepower, and that the moment of engagement had to arrive at the exact instant when the galaxy would least expect it. Every crew member worked in tense silence, adjusting targeting systems, synchronizing communications, running simulations, double-checking trajectories. And though the human ships were smaller than most alien vessels, their design allowed for speed, maneuverability, and lethal precision, a combination the veterans had refined over decades, teaching new recruits the value of discipline, of focus, of calm under pressure. While the veteran walked among them, his presence quiet but commanding, his gaze steady, every word a reminder that humanity's strength was in preparation and intelligence rather than sheer size. Meanwhile, alien patrols moved through nearby systems, confident, arrogant, their sensors scanning for anomalies, yet blind to the subtle manipulations that the humans had set in motion, false signals, decoy movements, minor skirmishes engineered to draw attention away from the real positions, and the veteran monitored every transmission, predicting their reactions, adjusting human positions, ensuring that every alien action played directly into his plan, while he reminded his officers, "The galaxy underestimates us. They assume weakness. They expect hesitation. Every move they make can be turned to our advantage, and it will be." In the command center, holographic projections displayed alien fleets moving unknowingly toward traps, their formations rigid, predictable, based on centuries of arrogance and overconfidence, while humans had learned to anticipate, to deceive, to strike where least expected. And as the veterans studied the displays, he marked each weak point, each opening, each vulnerable ship, ensuring that every attack would hit with maximum effect. The first strike designed to shock, confuse, and dismantle their sense of superiority, for the galaxy's belief that humans avoided war was about to be shattered. Beyond the asteroid field, small human scouting vessels moved, cloaked and silent, testing alien sensors, confirming positions, transmitting real-time intelligence to the command ship, every pilot trained to observe and report with perfect accuracy, and every crew member understood that timing was everything, that patience would ensure survival, that hesitation would be fatal. Yet confidence was high because they trusted the veterans' experience, the knowledge that every detail had been calculated, every risk assessed, every contingency planned, and they knew that humans had faced impossible odds before and had always risen. On the alien side, commanders noticed minor disruptions, communications delayed, patrols returning with strange reports, yet they dismissed them, claiming humans lacked the capability for such complex maneuvers, believing instead that these were random errors, coincidences, or natural interference, failing completely to recognize that the small signs of human movement were deliberate, carefully calculated, designed to manipulate and confuse. And the veteran smiled quietly, knowing that every Alien assumption about weakness was a mistake they would pay for, and that arrogance would blind them further even as the first attack approached. In the hidden hangars of the human fleet, boarding teams reviewed equipment, ensuring weapons were calibrated, suits fitted for zero gravity, tactics drilled repeatedly, simulations run to perfection, every team member ready to move as a single organism, precise, coordinated, and deadly, while the veteran observed silently, offering advice in low tones, correcting small mistakes, reminding his soldiers that war was won not just with firepower, but with preparation, discipline, and the ability to remain calm under pressure. And every action, every adjustment reinforced the truth that humans were not pacifists avoiding war, but masters of patience and strategy. The asteroid field became a stage for the human plan, ships maneuvering into position, sensors scanning, weapons ready, every captain understanding their role, every crew member knowing the signal would change the course of the battle, and the veteran communicated calmly, guiding each move, ensuring that timing, position, and execution would align perfectly, and though alien fleets moved with confidence, believing humans would flee or surrender, they had no idea that their routines were being exploited, that every misjudgment, every assumption, every arrogant move made them easier targets. In the council chambers, alien generals continued to debate human weakness, mocking their diplomacy, their supposed fear of conflict, and some even called for new strikes against Earth, confident that resistance was minimal, their words echoing across the galaxy. Yet they did not realize that the humans had already positioned themselves, that the first strike was minutes away, and that the veteran had orchestrated every move, predicted every counter, and was ready to exploit every mistake, turning arrogance into vulnerability, overconfidence into disaster, and disbelief into panic. The human ambassador, now back on Earth, followed updates from the fleet with a mixture of pride and tension, knowing that the Council had not taken humanity seriously, that the galaxy underestimated them, yet understanding that the veteran's plan was precise, patient, and calculated to perfection, and that the first action would not only show humanity's strength, but also redefine what the galaxy believed about human potential, intelligence, and strategy for the species that was labeled. Peaceful and hesitant would now demonstrate control, precision, and unstoppable resolve. In the moments before engagement, the veteran moved to the bridge of the command ship, eyes sweeping over holographic projections of alien fleets, asteroid positions, and the movements of every squad, his voice calm but firm. Remember, we act not because we seek destruction, but because we demand respect, every movement precise, every action coordinated, every decision deliberate. The galaxy expects weakness. Patience is our weapon, and now the time comes to show them what humanity truly is. And the officers nodded, understanding that history would remember this moment, that the arrogance of the galaxy would meet the patience, skill, and strategy of humans. As the first ships began their silent approach, the veteran observed with intensity, waiting for the exact signal, watching every alien fleet, noting the positions, the shields, the weapons, and the crews, ensuring that every movement aligned with his plan, every reaction anticipated, every trap ready. And as the human vessels slipped into the positions that would mark the beginning of the largest demonstration of skill and strategy the galaxy had ever seen, the veteran allowed a small smile, knowing that patience had brought them to this moment, and that the galaxy's laughter and mockery were about to be replaced with shock, fear, and respect. And in the hidden corridors of the human command ship, the final words of preparation were spoken, echoing in the minds of every crew member. They believe we avoid war. They believe we are weak. They think patience is cowardice. But humanity is about to rise, and the galaxy will learn that every species that underestimates us pays a price, for we do not flee, we do not hesitate, and we never forget. The human fleet drifted in perfect silence near the edge of the alien patrol zone, cloaked ships hidden behind the shadows of asteroids, nebulae, and drifting debris, engines muted, sensors active but imperceptible, every crew member holding their breath in anticipation. while the retired veteran on the command deck observed the alien positions, noting every movement, every weapon array, every possible weakness, knowing that the first strike would decide the opening moments of this conflict, and that patience and precision were as important as courage and firepower. Inside the command ship, officers coordinated with pilots, boarding teams, and artillery crews, ensuring that every squad understood their role, the timing of every maneuver, the exact sequence of attacks, and the veteran moved among them, calm but intense, his gaze piercing, his presence a quiet command that inspired confidence. Remember, this is not chaos. This is strategy. Every movement counts. Every second matters. And the galaxy expects us to fail, but we will show them the strength that comes from patience, preparation, and unity. Alien patrols remain confident, scanning sectors and dismissing anomalies as coincidences, minor disturbances, or errors in sensors, mocking reports of human activity, believing that any human fleet would avoid engagement, that humanity's patience was fear, and that diplomacy meant submission. Yet they did not notice the positions forming around them, did not see the silent predators waiting in the shadows, and did not anticipate the first move that would shatter arrogance and force them into reaction. On the human command ship, the veteran reviewed the holographic map of alien positions one last time, noting every possible angle, every escape route, every reinforcement path, and adjusted the timing of the first strike. We strike at the weak points first, confuse them, divide their focus, create hesitation, and then the full fleet engages. No mercy, no delay, precision only. Every crew member must act as one organism. And when the time comes, the galaxy will witness what patience and preparation can achieve, and every officer repeated the orders, imprinting them on their squads, ensuring that every pilot, soldier, and technician was ready. The hidden human scout ships had already penetrated deep into the edges of the alien fleet, their presence undetected, recording formations, shield strengths, weapon arrays, and communication patterns, transmitting the information back to the command ship, every piece of intelligence confirming the veteran's calculations, every detail lining up perfectly for the strike. And the soldiers and pilots felt the tension of waiting, the quiet before action, knowing that the first moments would determine the course of the battle, yet trusting in experience, training, and the veteran's vision. Alien generals, still arrogant and dismissive, discussed minor disruptions with irritation, mocking human intelligence, underestimating patience, and planning retaliatory measures for supposed skirmishes, unaware that these movements were part of the human design, distractions and probes to draw them into positions of vulnerability, to create hesitation, and to manipulate perception, while the veteran watched every move, predicting reactions, adjusting positions, timing each human squad to perfection, waiting for the exact moment to act when surprise and precision would maximize impact. In the asteroid field, human ships moved into final positions, engines silent, sensors scanning, shields active but invisible, boarding teams ready for rapid deployment, weapons systems calibrated for precision strikes, and the veteran walked the command deck, his gaze sweeping across the holographic displays, noting every alien vessel, predicting every response, reminding officers, they believe we are afraid. They think we avoid war. They assume hesitation is our nature, but patience has been our weapon. And now the moment arrives. Act with precision, act with unity, and the galaxy will see what humans are capable of. Suddenly, the signal was given, a subtle command that synchronized the entire fleet, and human ships surged forward like shadows becoming predators. Cloaking disengaged, engines blazing, weapons activated, a coordinated wave of movement designed to overwhelm, confuse, and disable, and alien patrols reacted with surprise, shields flickering, weapons activating too slowly, formations disrupted, and chaos spreading as human precision hit exactly where the veteran had calculated, demonstrating that patience and strategy could overcome raw power and arrogance. Boarding teams deployed in zero gravity, moving like shadows through alien ships, disabling systems, capturing control points, and sowing confusion, while artillery ships targeted weak points in alien hulls, disrupting shields and creating openings for further strikes, and the veteran monitored every attack, adjusting timing, coordinating reinforcements, ensuring that every human action contributed to the overall strategy, a symphony of discipline and precision designed to teach the Galaxy a lesson about underestimating humanity. The alien commanders were in disbelief, their arrogance replaced by shock, confusion, and fear as their fleet struggled to respond, attempts at countermeasures failing, reinforcements arriving too slowly, and communication breakdowns multiplying. Every alien officer realizing too late that they had misjudged their opponents, that patience, preparation, and intelligence had created an unstoppable force they had never anticipated, and every maneuver humans executed widened the gap between expectation and reality, proving that a species labeled hesitant and weak could become a nightmare in the void. Inside the human command ship, the veteran coordinated follow-up maneuvers, ensuring that the momentum continued, adjusting targets, directing reinforcements, and monitoring alien responses, every calculation precise, every prediction accurate, and he reminded his officers, do not underestimate them even in chaos. Every alien reaction has meaning. Every response can be turned to our advantage. And when we finish this strike, the galaxy will remember the day humans decided to act. As the first stage of the attack continued, humans exploited confusion and disarray, capturing strategic positions, disabling communication arrays, isolating alien ships, and forcing leaders to make rushed, uncoordinated decisions, all part of the veterans' plan, a display of patient intelligence converted into action, a demonstration of why humans were underestimated, and why underestimation would always become their greatest weakness. And through it all, the veteran remained calm, eyes scanning every display, mind calculating, guiding the fleet with absolute precision, every move orchestrated like a master conductor. The alien council watched helplessly as their fleets faltered, surprise turning into panic, arrogance replaced by fear, and the realization spreading that humans were not afraid, not hesitant, not weak, and that every label applied to humanity by those who mocked them had been a mistake, for the species they underestimated had prepared, studied, and waited for this exact moment. And the veteran had turned expectation into downfall, patience into power, and strategy into victory, teaching the galaxy a lesson that would be remembered for generations. And as the battle unfolded across asteroid fields, nebulae, and the void of space, the veteran allowed a small, silent smile, knowing that the first strike had succeeded, the initial wave of confusion and disruption had achieved its purpose, and that humanity's patience, preparation, and discipline were beginning to reshape the galaxy's understanding of strength, strategy, and power. And the final thought lingered in every human mind involved. They believed we avoided war. They thought we were weak. But the champion has risen, and the galaxy will never doubt humanity again. The galaxy was silent in the sectors controlled by alien fleets. Yet the stillness was deceptive, human ships moving like shadows through asteroid belts and nebulae, engines barely audible, weapon systems armed but hidden, sensors active but undetectable, while the retired veteran on the command deck of the flagship observed the unfolding chaos, calculating every move, every reaction, knowing that patience had delivered the first strike, but precision and timing would ensure the next wave of attacks would devastate the overconfident enemy. Inside the command ship, officers and crew members coordinated with a calm intensity, reviewing reports from scouts, updating positions, confirming weak points, and preparing boarding teams for rapid deployment. Every squad trained to move in perfect synchronization, and the veteran moved among them, his presence quiet but authoritative, reminding each team that strategy, observation, and timing were as lethal as firepower. They think they understand conflict. They believe humans avoid war. But they have not seen discipline turned into action, and patience transformed into power. Alien commanders scrambled to adjust formations, attempting to repair damage, reinforce weakened points, and regain control of sectors. Yet every move was anticipated, every reaction calculated by humans, and the veteran observed their panic with a steady gaze, noting confusion spreading through ranks, communication failures multiplying, and arrogance crumbling under precise, relentless human tactics. While human pilots executed maneuvers with perfect timing, exploiting openings, isolating enemy vessels, and sowing further chaos in ways the aliens could not anticipate. On the battlefield, human ships attacked in coordinated waves, striking weak points, disabling shields, and targeting control arrays, while boarding teams infiltrated alien vessels, neutralizing crews with efficiency, capturing command modules, and creating further confusion. Every action part of the veterans' carefully designed strategy, a demonstration of the lethal power of preparation, patience, and disciplined execution. And through it all, humans remained calm, controlled, and focused. Their movements precise, their communication minimal but effective. The alien fleets struggled to respond, sending reinforcements too slowly, executing counterattacks too late, and misinterpreting the human strategy as disorganized aggression. Unaware that the chaos they perceived was orchestrated, planned to exploit every weakness and magnify every mistake, while the veteran monitored every transmission, every sensor reading, every minor disruption, adjusting the positions of human ships to maintain momentum and ensuring that every wave of attack contributed to the growing advantage of patience, strategy, and deadly precision. Inside the human command ship, the veteran reviewed holographic maps, noting alien fleet positions, weak points, and potential reinforcements, while issuing subtle adjustments to squads already engaged, ensuring maximum efficiency, minimum risk, and total coordination. Keep pressure on their lines, isolate command ships, exploit hesitation, and maintain perfect timing. Every action must flow as part of the larger plan. The galaxy expects us to fail, but we are already winning because they underestimated us. And every officer passed instructions to their teams, reinforcing discipline, focus, and confidence. Alien generals attempted to communicate, coordinate, and regain control, but their systems were compromised, their vessels disabled in key areas, and their morale faltering, while humans moved with calm purpose, exploiting confusion, seizing key positions, and executing boarding maneuvers that paralyzed enemy leadership. And the veteran watched the patterns emerging, noting how every misjudgment, every arrogant assumption, and every underestimation contributed to the growing collapse of alien organization. The galaxy's laughter replaced by shock and disbelief. Human scout ships provided real-time intelligence, feeding data on alien movements, weapon status, shield levels, and reinforcement routes back to the command ship, while the veteran analyzed every detail, issuing orders with exact timing, ensuring that every strike, boarding action, and maneuver aligned with the overall plan. And he reminded his crews, "Patience brought us here. Precision will carry us further. Do not rush. Do not hesitate. Follow the plan. Execute with discipline, and the galaxy will learn the cost of underestimating humanity." In distant sectors, alien patrols tried to regroup, sending messages for reinforcements. Yet every route had been monitored, every maneuver anticipated, and humans moved to intercept, isolate, and neutralize, exploiting weaknesses, manipulating perception, and creating the impression of overwhelming numbers, while in reality, human forces acted as one synchronized organism. Each ship, each squad, each soldier perfectly aligned with the veteran's vision, and every calculated movement added to the growing advantage. The veteran walked along the bridge, observing every officer at work, every screen displaying critical data, every squad in motion, and he whispered to himself, "They thought humans avoid war. They believed we were hesitant. Yet here we are, controlling the battlefield, shaping the outcome, teaching the galaxy a lesson about patience, preparation, and skill." And every officer felt the intensity, calm determination, and precision of his leadership, passing it to their squads, ensuring unity and Flawless execution across the fleet. Boarding teams continued their deadly work, moving through alien vessels, disabling weapon systems, capturing command modules, and isolating leaders, while human artillery ships targeted vulnerable points with devastating accuracy, shields failing, hulls breached, and alien forces unable to respond effectively, and the veteran monitored every action, adjusting plans, predicting reactions, and ensuring that every human maneuver maximized the advantage created by patience, intelligence, and preparation, turning the tide decisively in favor of humanity. As the battle escalated, humans maintained discipline, coordination, and timing, exploiting hesitation, amplifying confusion, and maximizing impact, while alien commanders struggled to maintain control, communication lines disrupted, formations broken, and morale collapsing, and the veterans smiled quietly, knowing that every plan, every observation, every decision had led to this moment, proving that the galaxy had underestimated the patience, strategy, and power of humanity, a species capable of rising when provoked and acting with lethal precision. Finally, the veterans surveyed the battlefield, noting alien fleets scattered, isolated, and paralyzed, their arrogance shattered, their confidence broken, while human forces maintained cohesion, efficiency, and deadly focus. Every ship, every squad, every soldier executing the plan perfectly, and he knew that patience had delivered the first strike, precision had magnified its impact, and preparation would ensure the final outcome, a demonstration that humans were not pacifists avoiding war, but warriors capable of reshaping the galaxy's understanding of power, strategy, and discipline. And as the veteran allowed himself a brief moment of satisfaction, the thought lingered in every human mind involved. They believed we avoided war. They thought we were weak, but patience, preparation, and precision have shown them the truth, and the galaxy will never doubt humanity again. The galaxy held its breath as human ships pressed forward, every movement calculated, every weapon aligned, every boarding team ready to strike, while the retired veteran on the command deck of the flagship observed the unfolding chaos with calm intensity, knowing that patience, preparation, and precision had brought them to this final stage, and that every alien vessel now faced the consequences of underestimating humanity. Inside the human command ship, officers coordinated the final wave of strikes, confirming positions, updating targets, and relaying instructions to every ship in the fleet, while the veteran moved among them, his presence quiet but authoritative, reminding crews, "The galaxy believed we were weak. They assumed hesitation was our nature, and now they will learn the truth. Every action counts. Every second matters. Every decision must be perfect, and every officer passed the orders, ensuring synchronization and deadly efficiency." Alien commanders struggled to maintain control, sending frantic messages, attempting to regroup their scattered fleets, yet confusion and fear had spread like wildfire, and every move they made played into the human plan, exploited by the veteran strategy, while human ships moved with purpose, targeting command modules, isolating leaders, and paralyzing communication lines, turning arrogance into vulnerability, and ensuring that every alien assumption about weakness would become a fatal mistake. Boarding teams deployed rapidly, moving through corridors of alien vessels, neutralizing crews, capturing control nodes, and creating chaos in critical areas, while artillery ships fired with surgical precision, shields failing, hulls breached, and alien reinforcements arriving too late to make a difference, and the veteran monitored every strike, adjusting positions, timing, and targets, ensuring that momentum remained in humanity's favor, patience now transforming into decisive action. The alien fleet fractured under the relentless human assault, formations collapsing, weapon arrays disrupted, and morale plummeting, while human pilots executed maneuvers with exact timing, exploiting every weakness, avoiding traps, and striking precisely where predicted, demonstrating that discipline, intelligence, and preparation could overcome even overwhelming power. and the veteran observed the battlefield as if seeing a masterwork unfold. Every movement part of a larger strategy, every reaction anticipated and countered. Inside the command ship, holographic projections displayed alien fleets scattered across sectors, isolated and crippled, while humans maintained cohesion, efficiency, and deadly coordination. Every crew member aware of the pivotal moment. Every officer ensuring perfect execution, and the veteran reminded his teams, do not underestimate the smallest details. Every reaction, every hesitation, every misstep can be turned to advantage. Patience brought us here, precision will carry us through. And the galaxy will remember this day. Alien generals tried to communicate, issue orders, and reclaim control. Yet their systems were compromised, communication lines cut, and crews paralyzed with confusion, unable to respond effectively. While human forces maintained initiative, executing every maneuver with skill and discipline, every boarding team disabling critical systems, and every artillery strike creating openings for the next wave of attacks. A demonstration of unity, patience, and lethal precision that the galaxy had never seen. In the asteroid fields, human ships moved like shadows, striking isolated vessels, capturing command modules, and creating fear among alien ranks, while boarding teams neutralized officers, disabling weapon systems, and forcing ships into surrender. Every action perfectly synchronized, coordinated, and executed, and the veteran walked the bridge, watching displays, noting enemy positions, predicting reactions, and ensuring that every move contributed to the larger plan, transforming confusion into opportunity. Alien fleets faltered, scattered, and surrendered as human strategy unfolded flawlessly, and the veteran allowed himself a small, silent smile, knowing that patience, preparation, and coordination had achieved what raw power could not, and that the galaxy had learned a lesson about underestimating humanity. While human crews continued operations with discipline, ensuring that every alien ship was accounted for, every command module disabled, and every leader neutralized, completing the final stage of the battle. On distant planets and space stations, news of the human victory spread, alien diplomats attempting to negotiate, generals admitting defeat, and the galaxy realizing that the species labeled hesitant, fearful, and pacifist had risen with precision, skill, and strategy to dominate the battlefield. And the veteran observed this shift, knowing that patience, observation, and preparation had turned the tide, proving that humans were not a species to be underestimated, mocked, or dismissed. Inside the command ship, officers brief crews on final maneuvers, returning to formation, repairing minor damage, and preparing to transport captured alien ships to secure zones, while the veteran emphasized the importance of discipline, respect for life when possible, and coordination in every action. We do not act out of anger. We act out of necessity. Precision ensures survival. Preparation guarantees success, and patience reveals opportunity. The galaxy believed in our weakness, and now they know our strength. Boarding teams completed the capture of remaining vessels, securing crews, stabilizing systems, and neutralizing potential threats, while artillery ships delivered final precise strikes, and the veteran coordinated with every ship, ensuring that the victory was complete, comprehensive, and undeniable. Every human maneuver executed perfectly, turning what began as preparation into triumph, and transforming the galaxy's perception of human potential. Alien leaders admitted defeat, surrendering fleets, retreating from sectors, and acknowledging humanity as a force to be respected, feared, and never underestimated, while humans maintained order, discipline, and coordination, demonstrating that victory could be achieved without chaos, through intelligence, preparation, and patience. And the veteran observed this final stage with quiet satisfaction, knowing that every lesson had been taught, every plan fulfilled, and every expectation shattered. As the human fleet regrouped, repaired minor damage, and returned to secure positions, the veteran addressed his officers, reminding them, the galaxy believed we avoided war, that patience was fear, but today we showed them that patience, preparation, and precision are weapons of their own. Every strategy executed flawlessly, every assumption they made turned against them. And humanity has proven what it can achieve when provoked, underestimated, and prepared. And in the quiet moments after victory, humans reflected on their journey, the patience that led them to opportunity, the preparation that guaranteed success, the discipline that maintained unity, and the precision that shattered arrogance, while the veteran allowed a brief moment to savor the triumph. Knowing that humanity's reputation had changed forever, the galaxy's understanding of the species transformed, and the warrior who had waited quietly behind the ambassador had risen to show the true meaning of strength, strategy, and patience.